Hey guys, it's me, Scratch, and today we will be doing an online open world game. That's right. You gotta be thinking, wait, what? So basically, we just do like online. Like I've already made an online thing, online game part 5, which is the link should be up here, or it'll be in the description, or you can wait till the end for the end screen, and yeah, you'll see it, or you can just skip to it. So you have to create the online game tutorial series. Basically, part 1 is when we do like the player code, and then I think part 2 is like the online. Part 3 I think is also about the online. Well, no, part 3 is the chatting and stuff. Part 4, I forgot what part 4 was. I forgot what part. I think part 5 was like about bad word detector. But yeah, so this is literally it. So now that we have our online game here, you see that we have this. And then whenever another person joins, let me just duplicate this tab so that I can just another person joins. Yeah, this is the tab. So now if I click the green flag, as you can see, we're joining again. And then you look, you see this player right here. Look, you guys can see me moving, right? Because I'm on the other tab right now. Isn't that so cool? And then look, we can just move here. Yeah, pretty cool, right? So now what we are going to do is that instead of using the mouse, I'm going to be using Y like arrow keys, and it will be open world, so like it scrolls, but not infinitely. So yeah, let's get to it. So file, save as copy, and then instead of online game file, it will be open world. Wait, no, online open world F1. Yeah, online open world episode 1. Or technically the part 1, but yeah, let's change it to part 1. Okay. So now what we'll start with is the level, obviously. So let's make it Sprite and then level. Okay, since this is an open world, it would technically be hard to do something like this. But what we can do is, for now, how about let's just make a rectangle around. Don't worry, we're gonna find a way to figure out how to make the sprites bigger. It's actually easier than you might think. Okay. Now what we're going to do now, let's duplicate costume to the new costume called Dot. Let's name the first one Map. Okay, so wait, I forgot to add the top. Okay, so now for Dot, just remove everything and then zoom out as much as you can. I have an auto clicker, so just auto click that. Okay. I think there is a limit on how small I can make this. Ooh, that is so small. Okay, yeah, and then we don't even have to do anything. We just green flag click, switch costume to Dot, and then set size to 100. Boom. And then I think the size, oh yeah, that's pretty small. But let's set size to 500. Watch what happens. And look, you can see the 500. But if we switch costume to map after that, and you realize, wait, why can't I see it? Well, that's because our map is literally outside, because it's so big that you can't even see anymore. So that's what we're going to do. And then forever. Now wait, we need to do a few things first. Let's make a new variable called player X, player Y, and these are for all sprites. Camera X, and finally camera Y. Okay, so in the player sprite, let's go here. So now as you can see, let's remove the broadcast app players and everything under that. Let's make a new custom block called start up, and then run file screen. Okay, let's put the start up here, and let's add it here under the green flag, and then put the broadcast in. Good. Now let's move this start up here. So whatever we do here is what's going to start up. So this is also where we restart our variables, as you can see. So let's move this list stuff up here so that we can have these variables down here. So we want to set player X to, and we want to set to 0, player Y also to 0, and then we set camera X and camera Y to player X and player Y. Okay. So now all I have to do is set the camera X and camera Y and okay. Now let's go to player gateway. You can see this go to mouse pointer. We don't want that because we want it so that we can scroll with the arrow keys and what has to blah blah blah. So let's make a new variable called key X for all sprites and key Y for all sprites. Okay. So we have key X and key Y right here. So let's add a set key X to and then set key Y to. And then change key X by, yes, change key X by, and change key Y by. Okay. So here for the change, let's add a 0 minus right there. Okay, so now we have our inputs. Now let's go to setting category, and then for set key X, we'll add key right arrow. But we also wanted to do last, so we'll do or, so key right arrow or key D pressed. And then let's add the say speech under here. We don't need this go to last. Then duplicate or change X, key X by, and 0 minus key A pressed or key left arrow pressed. We can duplicate this and do the same thing. So set key Y to key W pressed or key up arrow pressed, and we can duplicate for the change key Y by 0 minus key S pressed or key down arrow. Okay. Now if I show key X and key Y, oh no, that's my key X and key Y. As you see, whenever I press the different keys, they will all change into the corresponding numbers. And if I hold up both up and down, it moves 0. If I move left and right, it moves 0. Okay. So now what we can do now is let's change player X by and change player Y by key X and key Y. So if we had that here, let's see. Let's show player X and player Y. Let's see, it's moving so fast. So yeah, that's a lot. So what we can do is we can do the divided by. Let's do divided by 6 because this is running at 30 frames a second. So if we just change it once, it'll move us 30 times. So we're not really exactly looking for that, are we? So yeah, now if I do this, let me show the player X, player Y. And now as you can see, we're moving smaller amount instead of those big amounts, you know. So now if I reset, we have to wait for the joining script. Okay, there we go. As you see, we're not moving far back much, but it's still a little bit. Okay, so now we need to let the player go. So let's make a new block called move player and background. Oh, I found screen finish. Now in the move player background, we're going to set X2, set Y2. Let me pause this, kind of annoying. Okay, let's add a minus and a minus. Now let's also add a set camera X and camera Y to add before the set X and set Y, mind you. And then we'll set camera X and camera Y to player X and player Y. So that the camera is at the players X and Y. So set X to player X and player Y minus camera X and camera Y. Okay. Let's save now and let's click the flag. And let's re-click this. Let's add the move player background here. Now you see the player automatically goes to the center. As you see, we are moving, but you can't really see the player moving. Well, let's go to right this forever we added. Well, let's set X to and set Y to 0 minus and then camera X and camera Y. Okay, and now instead let's set size to 200. And now we just gotta wait for the joining script. And now we can move around, you know. As you can see, the map's X and Y positions are changing because we are moving the player, so the map should also be moving towards us. So technically, the player isn't moving, but the level's playing. So it's kind of like an optical illusion. But what if we just said, look, the size can one. Now watch what happens. Just now, whenever we move, you can see we are moving so slowly. Wow. Let's divide this by 3 instead. What if we just divide by 1 like the original? Oh, okay, so that's actually okay. So we can just add this back here. Okay. So I thought it was, because I thought it was moving more than it was supposed to. In fact, we should actually be multiplying this. We are moving so slow. So multiply by 5. So key x and key y multiplied by 5. Here we go. The reason why it's moving is because it's and as you can see, look, the map, the level is the one that's moving, not the actual player. Like the player is always going to be at XY00. The map is the one that's moving. That's how those open world RPGs work. So yeah, now we've coded that. But now let's go to other players. Because if I like joined, let's say I have a regular person wanting to join your project, I just duplicate the tab. Look, if I join, then whenever we move, we don't see each other. But then we see this. Because the player is also in 00. So, but we want that it's offset. So what we're going to do, right, instead of say X to I to 1 buffer, here in the other players, repeat until length buffer equals 0. Instead, we're going to set X to on 1 of buffer minus camera X, and then I to 1 of buffer minus camera Y, and then set Y and set X. Now your code should look like this. As you see, boom, it's offset now. But there's still a lot more to it because it's kind of like flag. But right now, we're at the top right corner, right? So now if we go back here, it's kind of just laggy a little bit because, okay, sorry about the accident in the video, but now I have to shrink the tab so I can show you guys both the screens at the same time. So now if we just, why can't I? Okay, here. So now if we zoom in here, now I'm moving around, but it's not exact. Let's rejoin. So now you can see the players right there, but that's not where we're supposed to be because we're not right there. Okay, let's see if the auto remove the cord. Okay, so now it shows that we're in the center. The player's in the center, which is correct at first. Now if we move that, see, for some reason we're still not moving. We want to know why? Well, that's because if we go to the player sprite here, X position, Y position, and we're always 00. So let's move this and instead replace it with player X and player Y. There we go. So now that's what's gonna help us now. So let's re-click the flag. Let's shrink this. Let me reload the other tab. So now we have joined. Okay, so now the other project is loading, but now if I share this tab, look, join right now. So let's put ourselves right here at the top corner. As you see, we're right there. Now if I share this tab, look, you see us up there. Look at that, we're offset. And then if you look at this tab, you can see that we're moving around right here. You can see that right there. Oh. So technically the player isn't the one that's moving, it's just everything else around it. You can see that we're moving around offsetting. And then if you go here, just look at that. And then it's offset there too. Isn't that just so cool to see? Well, now let me put it back to full screen mode because it was kind of awkward like that before. Now, just look at it. So now if I end this one, will it still like stop it? Oh, look at that, it still stays there, but then it goes away. So instead of what we're going to do is here, instead of changing it offline by 1, let's change it by 25. So if the person's gone for 4 frames, then they are gone. See, the original one waited like 3.5 seconds. before it would disappear. So now let me re-click this one, and then once it joins, let's see. Yep, it immediately goes away. Literally once I click verify, it immediately went away. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But anyways, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and share as well as the channel. Hit that notification bell. Have a wonderful day. So well, the truth is, I'm trying to get at least 170 subscribers by the end of the year, and so far we have literally like 90 days, which sounds like a lot, but for me it's not really a lot. But so far I'm getting like a subscriber a day, so yeah, we might be able to make it. So please like and subscribe and